Hello, you guys. Welcome. Welcome to this amazing meeting where we're going to be talking about why the three of us started a Young Living business. And I'm going to start. I have a little PowerPoint for all of us. So here we go. So what we're going to be doing is starting with an introduction with Angela, Kathy, and me, Padma. And then we're going to be talking about what kind of hurdles that we jump through and just giving you a little overview of that. And then goodbye. That's it. So very, very short and sweet. All right, Angela, you are ready to go.
All right, there we are. Look at that. My kids are smiling in this picture. Both kids are smiling. So it's a good one. All right, so just for the people that are joining that don't know me, my name's Angela Fazio. A little history of myself. I've been a business owner in the fitness industry for over 20 years now. It's been a long time. I knew that's what I wanted to do. My husband, Sal, and we have two energetic boys that keep us very busy, to say the least. We homeschool them, or I homeschool them, although he helps. He helps with math. I'm not big on math. And of course, regular responsibilities, running the household and the cooking. And as the kids are getting older, they're taking over chores. But still, it takes a lot to run the household. I'm that woman that does it all. Won't have anybody else do it, of course. They really have to be the one. But we're very happy. There's been a lot of amazing doors that have been opened for us over this past year and a half or so. And that's part of why I'm on here. I mean, it really, I'm going to share with you a little bit of our why and how we've gotten here and the hurdles, like Padma says, that we've kind of had to maneuver over. So, and still are, but we're getting there. And so let me start off with telling you just a little bit that, what we actually are looking to do, what our why is. Sal and I wear many hats. To say we just do one thing, it would be impossible. So we do wear many hats, but we know that we work best together. And we're a great team. And Sal has been working very hard over the years to get us to the point of being able to run our passions, if you will, and be united together in our efforts and use our gifts to help and serve others. So that's, of course, I've been working hard on one end and he's been on the other end. So we're both working hard, but we really are doing this to be able to work together again. It's been a while since we've been able to financially afford to do that. So that goes right into my why. So I'm going to break it down into two reasons why I say I, but it's really we're really trying to do this together. But why I want this, what am I doing this Young Living business for? What's brought me to it? So the first reason is for full financial freedom. The second is for full time freedom. Two very different things to me, but they do play one into the other. So financial freedom, what do I mean by that? For many, it can be save for a family vacation. We all need vacations. Investing for retirement, another thing we all need. Purchasing a new home, house renovations, want a new kitchen, or you need a new roof, or you need a new car or want a new car, building your emergency fund, college fund for the kids. So really, to me, financial freedom is all of those things because really, wouldn't that be great? To be able to not have to worry about where the money comes from for each of those entities and to have extra after those things come up, or not have to think twice about booking a vacation and saying yes to traveling here or there to visit someone. And we have friends in the Bahamas that have invited us, I don't even know how many times. And we keep saying no, because we just can't take a week off to get out there and visit them. Would I like to say yes to that? Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. But we're very fortunate also to have friends all over the country, and we never really get to visit any of them. So even all over the world, even in Europe. So that would be great. So all of those as a whole is what financial freedom means to us. But that also ties right into my second reason why I do this business. And that is the time freedom. So that is the biggest part for us. Being able to be together as a family to have time after we get our have-tos done and to be able to fulfill our want-tos together, again, as a family, to be able to help others in a godly manner and serve others. Those are the things that we really want to do. To not have to say no to the kids to spending some time with them because, one of us is a conference call and the other one's got to get to work, and all those things that we have to get done for our professions, or having to explain, a few times during the day, we do this so that you can have food on the table and you can go to the zoo, and having to explain that. But really, of course, it's important. It's an important lesson, but being able to do that and have that time freedom, being together, because life is short. And we know that, and we want to be able to be with our loved ones, our family, friends, our parents. They're getting older. And that time freedom would really mean everything to us. So that time freedom and the financial freedom and all that is, really our why. It's what we want out of all of this. Some of the hurdles and things that we've had to work through and are still doing that.
Talk about the hurdles and after we're done with the introduction.
Oh, okay. All right. So introduction first, Padma, and now I pass the torch?
Yes.
Okay. Let me pass the torch now then. Sorry.
Okay. There you go. Hi, Kathy. You're on.
Oh, great. Hi, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Kathy Fritz, and I'm a high school English teacher by training. I have two kids, a 9-year-old and an almost 7-year-old, and I work right now for a virtual high school. And I really like that because I'm able to be home and with the kids. I started oiling in 2014, and I had no intention of telling anybody I was doing this. It seemed really weird, and I was not ready to be judged for the crazy things I was doing. So I kept it really quiet at first. But I started having these really positive results, and I thought, well, I could share with my close friends. So I just started telling my close friends about the oils, but not with any purpose in mind, just sharing something that was working, that was helping people sleep in our house, helping everybody stay healthy. And some of my friends started to want to try them for themselves and started getting their starter kits. So that was how my accidental business was born, voila. And I just originally wanted to get my Essential Rewards order paid for every month. So that I just was enrolling one friend a month, getting that $50 Young Living check. It covered my 50 PV order. And I felt good about that because my husband works really hard. He works full time. He has crazy hours. And I thought, well, here's something I want to do for our family. I want to oil. And here's something else I can do for our family. I can pay for my oils. And that felt really good. So I treated my business as a hobby until last August, when my dad had a health crisis. And I used oils with him, and he is healthy again. This lit a fire within me to share with purpose about how beneficial Young Living essential oils and products are for our wellness. So fast forward now almost a year, and I have really enjoyed, in addition to the time freedom and the financial freedom piece Angela talked about, I also wanted to touch on how I've really enjoyed the engagement of it, and it has pushed me outside of my English teacher identity into something more. This entrepreneurial identity has been really engaging for me. And what I've told people who have asked is, it's kind of neat to become a grown-up and think you've got your career and then find something else that engages you and excites you. So the business, in addition to the time and financial freedom Angela mentioned, is also kind of the cerebral interaction that I feel like I get from it. So that's who I am. Off to you, Padma.
Thank you, Kathy. So my name is Padma Ali, and I've been a therapist for 20 years. It's hard to believe, but yes, 20 years in the making. And I still have a small practice. And like both these ladies, mine was also it just kind of fell into my lap. I had no intention of actually sharing oils. It came into my life when my older boy, right there, he's 4.5, and when I was pregnant with him. And I had amazing results, but I was a very closeted user of oils. Again, I didn't want to be weird about it. But anyways, so what happened was 2 years ago, something lit fire, and I can't really pinpoint exactly what happened, but what I can trace it back to was my husband and I both had some severe health crisis, and I had to quit my practice both when I was sick and when we moved from California and when the kids were born. And every time I had to stop my practice, my paycheck dwindled and my practice dwindled. So I was like, this is unsustainable. What if I fall sick again? What's going to happen? And so that was, I have an autoimmune, so I never know if it's going to come back on or not. Thankfully, the oils have kept everything in control. But I didn't want to go through that again. I didn't want our family to go through that again. As you can see, I have very young kids. And so that was it. That made me start the business, but it was very casual until last, I think it was like 6 months ago, or almost 7 months ago, is when I was like, all right, I am doing this. And I fully owned it. And I started this. So for me, it was, I didn't want my family to go through the lack of financial freedom if I fell sick, for example. And also I want with my husband's cancer history, I'm like, I just want to make sure that we are all set up. Like if he wants to retire and go do photography full time, I want to be able to do that. So those are my big whys of why I started. So I am going to move on to the next agenda item, which is jumping over hurdles, like the kind of hurdles that we have jumped over and that are commonly asked of us. So again, Angela, you're on. You can talk about what hurdles you have jumped. And
okay. Thank you, Padma. All right. So for us, I'm going to give you an example of a recent bit of a hurdle that was I guess expected, but not. So when we actually have just moved to Texas 3 weeks ago. So we drove across the country, literally 3 weeks ago. We got here on like the 4th of June. So, and, you know, we homeschool and we do our things, you know, day-to-day things. Everything basically got off schedule, completely out of whack, preparing the house for being sold, going through all that and the showings, gearing up for the move, which I got to tell you was really not so easy, just even planning it all out, the trip itself. We stretched it out over 6 days. So it was a lot. And there wasn't a whole lot of consistency basically to our schedule. And usually we kind of run like that, like a well-timed machine. It's the only way that I keep things or keep me sane. So everything was pretty out of whack. But with saying that, I really couldn't devote much time to my Young Living business over the past few months. I did what I could. It wasn't 100%. I would say I was probably about 30, maybe 30%. I'm not even going to go to 40. I would spend whole days doing some things, but there would be days where I haven't done anything because I couldn't. There was just so much on my plate. And I worried about that. And pleasantly, I was surprised just to keep seeing my Young Living check being deposited each month and at least remaining the same. You know, maybe it wasn't growing, but it wasn't depleting. It wasn't dwindling like Padma had mentioned, you know, can happen when you have your own business and, you know, you're not able to put your full efforts to it. That happens pretty quickly. So being a business owner, I've seen that before and I expected that to happen and it didn't, which really was amazing to me. I think, you know, as I can grow with this company, we're going to be even more pleasantly surprised. I feel like it's a surprise each month as that happens over the years, because there's always going to be things in your schedule. You know, it's great to be able to know that you can take a break if you need to. If illness arises, if something's, you know, going on with your spouse or your kids and you just need to take a step back, being able to do that while getting paid or while gaining that residual income and not having to worry about that brings such peace of mind. And I'm really excited about that. I'm happy about that. I'm very grateful for that. I don't know what other jobs you can say that about. So, Padma, do you want me to go into my next one, or do you want me to pass the torch over to Kathy on that topic?
Kathy, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'll do the next two then. So these are two areas that I definitely struggled with. And the first one is not being an expert. So being a teacher and teaching other people, I feel like I have to be the expert, right? Because otherwise they're not going to trust me. The students, whether they are high school students or adults learning about essential oils. So, right, I got to be an expert in order to do this, right? Wrong. So there is no need for you to be an expert in order to teach others what you know about oils. In fact, I frequently am asked questions and I just get out my guide and we look up the answer to their question in the guide. And in addition to showing that you don't have to be an expert to have a business, it also shows your new oiler you don't have to be an expert to start oiling. You don't have to learn everything possible before you actually start using the oils. So I think that sometimes in our culture, we have this expectation that only the experts have anything to offer, and that's not true. You have so much to offer from your own experiences. And so that's one way to get over that hurdle. The next hurdle, I don't want to appear salesy. This is one Padma, Angela, and I were like, oh yes, definitely have totally felt that, and it's been a hurdle. So one of the ways that I was able to get over this is I really changed my vision of this and realized that I have something to offer my friends and family and acquaintances here. I'm not trying to sell them something. I'm trying to share my knowledge and share my experiences. And then it's up to them if they choose to pursue their own experiences or not. I'm not trying to sell them my experience. I'm trying to share them my knowledge. And what was so interesting about this is once I got over this hurdle, I found that a lot of relationships that may have been superficial to start actually deepened. Even deep relationships went even deeper because we were able to be vulnerable about the things that we were struggling with. So another way to think about this is if you ate at a great restaurant, you would totally tell your friends about it because you'd want them to have that experience. If you switched pediatricians and you're just crazy about this pediatrician and love how they interact with your kids, you would tell that to your friends because you'd want them to have that experience. So once I was able to kind of change my view of the business in those two ways, I found that I felt a lot more comfortable with sharing about my experiences.
Thanks, Kathy and Angela. So I'm going to address I don't know how to sell because that was one of my biggest hurdles. And I had to, yes, you have to learn some new skills because direct selling is not what I was trained in. But the bottom line is the oils do the work of selling. All you have to do is show up and share your experience with the oil. Even if you're a brand new user, all you do is share whatever you've done so far. And you don't have, like Kathy was saying, you don't have to be an expert. All you do is pull up a book and then show them how to use it. And also, this is where we all come to your rescue or to help you out when you're starting off sharing. We can totally come and support you on this process and help answer questions. You also can be a part of our groups, our Facebook groups, where they can totally be plugged in to get the support that they need. So you don't have to know it all. And especially about the selling piece, you present the information and they take and run with it or not. And maybe oils are not for everybody and you have to be okay with that. And this is something I had to get over. Like when someone says no, it might not be a no forever. And secondly, it's not a rejection of me. It's just like, this is not where we connect, and that's totally okay. So the second one, which is I don't have cash to invest in this business, that is often something that that was one of the things that I didn't know anything about how much investment it would require. And let me show you. You can look up all the other things, but look at the bottom line. Look at the Young Living business, like how much investment it requires. That is the amount you've paid for your starter kit, and that is it. Your starter kit allows you to start a business with Young Living. I don't think there's any business in the world that requires that kind of, like a product-based business in the world that requires only that kind of investment. And after that, like Kathy pointed out, also the $50, like you help enroll one person, and that $50 pays for your $50 ER order. And then as you go along and you want to make more residual income, your ER order, which you're going to be using the products for your own use, for your family's use, 100 PV is all that is required, all the way up to Royal Crown Diamond to make, and that's the investment. So you could be making how much ever you need to, you be making, but the investment is only 100 PV. So that is pretty amazing, guys. Like it is, I can't even begin to tell you how amazing this investment, this little investment gives you so much more. So I'm going to pass on again about the ending. So we're going to end in a second. And Kathy, you're going to be doing the honors of just saying goodbye to everybody.
So on behalf of Padma and Angela, I'd like to thank you for tuning in, taking the time to listen in. We really appreciate that. One of the great things about a Young Living business is how it can grow with you. So right now you might be thinking you'd like to just pay for your oils, but down the road, true financial freedom may be what drives you. So whatever your path, whatever your why, whatever your goal, a Young Living business can get you there. Please reach out to any of us with questions. Padma, Angela, and I are here to support you. Have a great night, and thank you again for listening in.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Angela, do you want to add anything, or shall we end?
I think you've covered it all. I think everybody spoke, and we got what we wanted to say out there. So I just want to just say one quick thing. The greatest kept secret of Young Living is their compensation plan. So please ask us about it. We're happy to just share what we know, and we can help you and guide you along. Again, like Kathy said, answer any questions. We're here for you. Thank you, everyone.
Perfect. And do you guys have any questions? I know Sam and Geeta, you're here. Do you have any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask. All right. Okay, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.